What would you do if I sang out of tune with just...
We're gonna solve an equation by using the quadratic formula. Now, this is A, this is B, and this is C. In here you can see that the A is 2, B is 4, and C is negative 1. So the formula is x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4c divided by 2a. And then in here we need only to replace them. So here is x equals, the negative b is 4, so we put a negative in 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 AC, A and C, divided by 2A. So you only solve, and this is your final. Then we start to simplify. In here this is the next outcome. So the square root of 24, we don't have a square root of 24. Then the next thing we need to do is radicals. So this will be our final answer. X equals negative 4 plus or minus 2 square of 6 and divided by 4. Then we're going to divide this into two fractions, and this will get two answers, a positive and a negative one. And this is our final answers. This is a positive and this is a negative.
The first thing you have to do is switch the terms to their required spaces. So you have the first one the same, and then the second one you already switched it. Then you need to use a formula, which is a squared minus b squared is a minus b and a plus b, which is this part. And now you get the variables of this problem, which are 4 and 3, these ones, and then apply the formula. So it gives you 16m squared, no, m to the 4th power, m to the 2nd power, minus 9x squared.
Okay, this is a complex division, and what you first need to do is find the common denominator for these two fractions, which here we have it is x plus 1 times x minus 1. Then you will do to the numerator what you did to the numerator, which is multiply times the common denominator. So here, if you multiply it times the common denominator, it will give you this. If you multiply this by the common denominator, it will give you this. Then after that, you will simplify these two by doing FOIL. So these two terms will give you this polynomial, and these two terms will give you this polynomial. And after that, what we did was apply FOIL to these two polynomials to get finally this answer. And then we kept this the same, except for the denominator, we simplified it and made it an x squared minus 1. So after doing FOIL with this, we had all of these variables, and we summed them up, and it gave us this other polynomial. Then we had this over the denominator, and then to divide a fraction, what we need to do is flip the second fraction to divide it. So here we flip, it gave us then this other polynomial over this denominator, and as we canceled the exponents, it gave us our final answer, which is
in here we're going to solve an equation, and in this side, by using FOIL, we're gonna get a polynomial, and in this side, using FOIL, we're gonna get a polynomial. Then the next step is to simplify all these numbers. Then we get this. Now we need to pass the x to one side, like the x is like in here and the numbers in here. And then we need to simplify it, and our outcome is this answer. And then the next step is to leave the x alone, and we need to pass dividing the 120 in here, and we have 375 divided by 120 leaving the x alone. But we need to simplify this number. And then we need to simplify it, and our final answer is 25 over 8 is the x.
The polynomial square that represents the area of the square garden if the sides have x plus 5. So the thing that you have to do is multiply two sides. So it's x plus 5 times x plus 5.
Foil.
And you have to do FOIL. So this times this gives you x squared. This times this gives you 25. And then in the middle, the center is x plus 5x, which gives you 10x plus 25. That is the area of this square.
Okay, we're gonna solve a word problem the following way. The height of the Empire Building, the E will be the Empire Building, and its antenna is 1,472 feet. Now, the difference in height, so when they say difference, you automatically know that it is a subtraction. So the difference in height between the building difference and the antenna is 1,028. How tall is the building? I don't know. So what we did here was solve this. A minus A, you would cancel it, and then you would add these two because they're both positive. So, oh, and here it would be E plus E, which makes 2 times E. So you practically add these two but cancel because this is subtracting. And after this, you would have to do the inverse operation, which is divide, and the total height would be 2,500 divided by 2. And our final answer for how tall is the building is 1,250 feet. And then we came to the question of how tall is the antenna. And we figured that this would be the best answer. So after that, we just added up these two, which is this minus E, which is 1,250, and this was our final answer.
Here we're going to solve an equation, but only for C, and we need to use inverse operations.
Inverse operations!
And now, in here, in this side, we need to start moving to the other side to leave the C alone. So first, we pass this number to the other side, but in here it was positive and we pass it negative. And it will be F minus 32 equals 9 over 5 and C, but we still have the C with a number. So the next thing, like in here is dividing and we pass it multiplying in here and to the other side. Here we cancel and this will be the next answer. But we'll still having the C with a number. So in here is multiplying, then we need to do it dividing. We cancel and then the final answer will be this one, and we leave the C alone.
first of all, factorize the coefficients. So 16 is 4 times 4 and 25 is 5 times 5. Now that you have these factors, you place them and you have to split the exponents of the letters, the variables. So it's 4m plus 5 and 2n squared, because this is 74, and times 4m plus 5n squared. And this could be your answer, but also it could be more simplified if you do it to the second power, because it repeats. It's basically the same.
What we have to do is solve x and y via substitution. So what we have to do first is find a formula for whichever variable you want from whichever problem. We are going to choose this one, and we're going to get a formula from y. So the formula would be, by doing inverse operations, it would give you x plus 10. And after that, what you have to do is substitute this y with the formula you did right here. So it would give you x squared minus, and then here's the y, so you substitute it with this, which is x plus 10 plus 4 equals 0. And all you do from here then is start simplifying it, which is doing this. And then you just have to factorize it. Now, which two numbers? Oh, yes, it would be x plus 2 and x plus 3. So you would do x equals x plus 3 equals 0. And then you apply inverse operations, and it will give you x minus 3. And then here also you would apply inverse operations. And it's minus 2. So there you have x. But now we are missing the variable y. And we can now substitute the x with the already solved variable. So all you do is the following. 3 minus y plus 4 equals 0. Here we are doing this polynomial first. We substituted x, no, I'm sorry, this, yes, this. And it will give you n minus y plus 4 equals 0. And it would give you 13 equals y after doing this with inverse operations. So here's your x, and here are your y's. And the variables are solved.